Y'all feel it?
A message to all you pseudo spitters. The sound is cool, but the trend I see is the truth is missing. I feel the flow is stupid. You claim that the music's different. I guess it's all opinion, depending on who was listening.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR_podcast, No Roast Podcast. You are not live and direct with Cinco, Big Harb, and J-Bo himself on the Saturday morning with our Wrestling Weekly Recap with Ramblin Gamblin Sports Network. You can go follow them on Twitter at Gamblin at ANDGAMBLIN, because it's all in for the money, because it don't talk about dollars. It don't make sense. But he just went away. Yeah, but how you doing this Saturday morning, though? I'm good.
We busy. We out and about.
We are. Big Harb, how you feeling today?
Yeah, man, living on the edge right now, you know. we just don't know.
Yes, in case for those that don't know, Big Harvey's about to have another son, his third child, and
third Hardy boy.
Second right now, and we're trying to get this episode knocked out before that happens. So
that's right.
That's what I'm about to get into. But before we start this episode, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. KTR_podcast, Twitter and Instagram, Know the Roast Podcast, Facebook, YouTube. Know the Roast Podcast on all podcast platforms. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, everything. Podbean, you can find us there. Go like, comment, share, subscribe. Anything you could think of besides hit the dislike button. But like I said, we got things to do this morning because I'm trying to eat my breakfast. I haven't started yet and I'm parched. And I can feel my stomach touching my ribs. But going to this week's Raw episodes, we had Drew McIntyre and The New Day. They defeated Randy Orton and The Miz and John Morrison. Had Riddle defeated Elias and Jeff Hardy to qualify for the final spot on the Survivor Series team for Team Raw. Riddle and Keith Lee defeated Sheamus and Braun Strowman. R-Truth regained his 24/7 title again for like the 49th time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Shayna Baszler made Lana tap out. Bobby Lashley defeated Titus O'Neil, who we haven't seen in ring action a good minute by submission. Mustafa Ali defeated Ricochet by submission. And Asuka versus Nia Jax ended up in disqualification. Moving on to Friday night, which was last night, Drew McIntyre defeated Jey Uso by pinfall, easy. Rey Mysterio defeated Seth Rollins, which finally ends this Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, Mysterio family storyline.
Yeah.
Amen. Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn defeated Apollo Crews by count because he didn't feel like fighting that day, which was good and smart. Otis defeated Dolph Ziggler, and I love Otis. That's my guy right there. And last but not least, Liv Morgan defeated Natalya, Tamina, and Chelsea Green for a spot on the Survivor Series team. And also praise up to Chelsea Green on her debut. She broke her left wrist. Hopefully she recovers. Let that be a speedy process and everything. And last but not least, I'm chewing my cantaloupe right now. I apologize.
My gosh, dude.
Wednesday night on NXT. I have to acknowledge it. As much as it hates me to admit this.
Hold on, let me clap real quick.
Leon Ruff became the new NXT North American champion.
Hey.
No hate over here. All
my
proud.
guy Damian Priest gave him a black Hellcat.
Right.
Way to go. Way to go, black man.
We proud of you, man. Hopefully you and Aja have a healthy, happy career.
Hey. My man is mature out here. That's what I'm talking about.
But we're gonna let y'all get into the y'all review. So J-Bo, give us a review for Raw.
So I didn't really care too much for Raw this week. I thought it was just a regular filler show leading up to Survivor Series. A few notes that I want to point out. Ricochet is consistently consistent. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm one of Ricochet's biggest fans. He's been tearing up on main event. He did a great job against Ali. Honestly, he pulled out some new moves as he always does, but you know that consistency has to pay off eventually. Speaking of Ricochet and Ali, look, I like Ali. I liked Ali before Retribution. I think Ali is great. I still don't care for Retribution, especially when your cohort's name is T-Boz from TLC and Slapnuts. Okay. I think Ali is doing consistently in the ring. I don't really care too much as a heel for him. He's a definite face, but I'm looking forward to see where it comes from Ali, not Retribution. Bobby Lashley, he beat Titus O'Neil. Like Cinco said, hey, it's good to see Titus O'Neil. I'm glad that he was back in ring action. The match honestly wasn't the best. It was honestly just a filler match in my opinion. But I have to call out that trash for Nelson. I have to call that out. he didn't even lock it on, and Titus O'Neil just tapped out. It was hard for me to watch, and what made it worse is that they showed a replay of it on Monday Night Raw. That was just embarrassing. Honestly, if Lashley's going to be the dominant person that I know he is, he's going to fight other big guys. I mean, you got you got the Bray Wyatts, you got the Braun Strowmans. You're going to have big guys. If you can't lock it in, do a different move. That's just my personal opinion. I do want to talk about the big thing, which is Survivor Series team. Honestly, Monday Night Raw got the best team. Let's not question that. They got Braun Strowman, they got Sheamus, they got Keith Lee. Just those three alone is just going to dominate SmackDown. AJ Styles and Riddle, they're just there as a formality. Okay, so dope team. I'm honest, I cannot see them losing at Survivor Series when it comes. And then the last thing is Drew McIntyre. I'm curious. I think he might beat Randy Orton for the belt next week. The reason why, and Harv is probably going to talk about it, that Drew McIntyre was on SmackDown and he confronted Roman Reigns. I just thought that was just so weird. So one of two things is going to happen. Either he's going to beat Randy Orton and fight Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, or they're just setting them up for like a future match down the line. I don't know, but I'm curious to see if Drew McIntyre is going to take the belt next week. But yeah, overall, Raw wasn't the best. It was just a filler show.
Oh, or how you feel about SmackDown?
Yeah, just gonna jump right in based off of what how J-Bo ended. Drew had a really big week. Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown, he came out talking his trash. He actually had good points against Roman Reigns, talking about how he didn't, make WrestleMania, how he had to step up and be the big dog in the yard and all that. That was good. The unsanctioned match with Jey Uso.
Yes, that's the only one that's
Yeah. He had the unsanctioned match with Jey. It was a really good match. I just really like how they are elevating Jey Uso to make him look as good as he does, even though it wasn't another losing effort. But it was a big week for Drew McIntyre. What else we have? I like what Sami Zayn's doing, honestly. Back when he was first involved with the title picture, I wasn't really sold on it. But I'm liking that they're making him use his brain more than his actual athletic prowess, even though he is a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah.
He put on a really good match with Apollo Crews, but came out, he won using different methods than what you usually see. So that was great. What else do we have? I don't care about Carmella, really at all. I love Sasha Banks, but the most the best thing she's done so far with this title reign was them Undertaker pictures. I don't know if y'all saw. She had the eyes rolled back with the tongue out.
Already, she only been champion for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's all she's done though. That's it. That's all I remember of this reign so far. Your boy Otis, I'm tired of him fighting Dolph Ziggler. Sick of it.
Why?
I'm sick of because, man, it's different when it's Usos versus New Day and they putting on classics. This is trash.
I think you just upset because one of my favorite wrestlers are being one of the people that you like. So I can see that happening.
I haven't liked Dolph Ziggler since they put him in a tag team with Bobby Roode. So
I haven't liked him since they put him in
kill that
noise.
They haven't done anything. They haven't done anything with my boy. Glad that the Rey Mysterio saga, family drama, soap opera crap is over. Good match, overbooked, as usual with the big blow off matches. They always do too much. I still think it's cringe-worthy that they're giving their blessing to their daughter to mess with Buddy, even though
that's
I
an episode topic.
That's weird, man.
That's
whatever.
Episode topic right there.
To me, that's Vince trying to get that storyline he never got to have with his daughter out the way. He's trying to. That's a vicarious storyline, but yeah, whatever. Chelsea Green did get hurt, unfortunately, in her match. That's sad. Still a decent fatal 4-way. Really like Liv Morgan. I always have. She's not really the best in ring, but she exudes a different type of charisma for her character. Even though
The
she
universe
doesn't really
likes her.
have. Yeah, you know, I feel like they need to do more with her. They really do. She's cold and needs to be squeezed into the diamond. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Other than that, I feel like SmackDown had peaks and valleys. Overall, it was better than Raw. It usually is because it's tighter and more concise. But yeah, overall, SmackDown had a really good show. Low points were Ziggler and Otis.
Wow.
As usual.
Out all the people, you could. That was the lowest point of the show. Otis, really. What Otis do to you?
Yeah, he had the lowest point of the show. That's what he did.
Otis didn't do nothing. You got like Otis asked him for the singles run, like he's not being successful what he's doing. He is.
That's
the
great.
Former Money in the Bank winner.
Yep. What else? That's it. He's a former Money in the Bank winner and professional Dolph Ziggler ass whooper. That's about all he has under his belt because he whoops on Dolph, and that's unfortunate.
Anyway, like I was saying, that's all the time that we have for our Wrestling Weekly recap. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms before Hard gets on my nerves talking about Otis. Like I said, Twitter and Instagram, KTR_podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Know the Ropes Podcast. Know the Ropes Podcast are all podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. We're on everything. Also, be sure to follow. Dang, I just had a brain fart. It's early. That's why we need to start doing episodes in the afternoon. Yeah, follow Ramblin Gamblin Sports Network on Twitter at ANDGAMBLIN. And that's all the time we have for today. This is our Wrestling Weekly recap, and we are out.
What should they do, Big Hard?
Pump those numbers.